In this series, I'm going to go over installing Microsoft SQL Server Express and also attaching and restoring databases to get an environment set up for some of the labs we'll be doing. So the easiest way probably to find SQL Server Express is to just type in MS SQL Server Express into Chrome and hit enter, and it will take you, the first link will probably be SQL Server downloads from Microsoft. So we'll click on that. We will go to this page, and we have several different versions we could use. Developer is the free edition of a full version of SQL Server. For everything we're going to be doing, SQL Server Express is more than enough, and it's a quicker download, easy to configure. So we'll come over here to Express and click download now, and it will download fairly quickly. It's an installer, it's a pretty small file. So we'll open that file. You can go to your downloads folder and do it, or you can just do like I did and click the button next to it and click open. And SQL Server Express Edition will begin to install. And we just need to do a basic installation, nothing fancy. Hit accept. It's going to install in C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. That's fine. We'll click install. We'll download the installation files and install them. When it's done, we should have an option to install SQL Server Management Studio. That's the actual client that we'll use to connect to the SQL Server. When the SQL Server runs, it runs in the background on our computer. To actually connect to it, or to connect to any SQL Server on the internet, you use SQL Server Management Studio. It'll let you connect to it, run commands, configure databases. That option should come up at the end of this installation. All right, I paused recording there for a minute or so while it finished installing, and we get done. It says installation is completed successfully, and it gives us our instance name and who our administrators are, which should be you if you're installing it on your computer. And down here, we have the option to close the installation screen, but we do not want to do that. We want to install Ssms, which is SQL Server Management Studio. So we'll click on install there. Click OK. It says download SQL Server Management Studio. So we'll click the download for that. That might take us a few minutes to download. So I'm going to pause the video while that continues to download. Okay, it's finished downloading. So I'm going to click on the file to open Ssms setup. Run it. Location, we'll take the default location. We'll hit install. And I'll go ahead and pause while that runs. All right, that completed. It took just a couple minutes. Setup's completed. All components have been installed successfully. Close it down. And close this now. Yes, we want to exit. All right, so the easiest way I found to get to the SQL Server Management Studio is just come down in the Windows box and type SSMS, and it will pull up Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. When we run it, it should start with a login. Now I've previously installed this on this computer. So it may look slightly different because I've ran it before. We'll see. That screen that popped up is one you can ignore. You shouldn't get that on yours. Here it is, SQL Server. We're going to connect to this computer is PC 17. We're going to connect to the SQL Express instance. We're going to use Windows authentication because that's how it's set up by default, is to use our Windows login. And that's what it used when it made us the administrator. So we don't have to change anything here. We just hit connect. And here is our server running over here. We can see system databases are installed, but we don't have any other databases. And we need to get some databases in here to play with. So in the next 2 videos, I will show you one, how to restore a database from a backup. And then in the second video, I will show you how to attach a database file directly. And those will be coming up in just a minute.